start things off for Eastern Michigan with a serve. Dug by Jacobs. Burke, Haynes, and Michigan takes point one.
Beautiful. Number 12, Jenna Haynes, the 6'3" sophomore, just as soon as she got the opportunity, went away with it.
Michigan regains the serve. Simmons. Eastern pokes it over. Dug by Burke. Cochran. Jacobs. Dragged out by Belcher. Burke with another dig. And Michigan secures the point.
Beautiful job by Johnson. As mentioned earlier by Alana, had no flaws in her 22 kills last weekend in the season opener. I apologize.
Simmons will continue to serve. Michigan up 2-0 early on. Flicked over the net, and Michigan hasn't a chance to attack. Johnson dug out one more time by Belcher. Cochran couldn't get to it, and that attack by Bonnie gets through.
Yeah, the 6-foot senior from Pioneer, Ohio is just a force at the net tonight, and is just really eager to start off the game in Eastern's favor.
Serving now, A.K. Christensen. Star freshman. Cochran gets the dig. Burke, Haynes, denied. Johnson keeps it alive. Jacobs on the attack. Dug out by Srinivasan. Eastern back at it. And Haynes is there on defense. Ball did not get over the net. Michigan up 3-1.
Saravi Servina had 55 digs this weekend in their season opener. And once again is performing off a nice start this evening.
Jenna Haynes, sophomore middle blocker with the serve. Srinivasan digs it out. A nice poke shot by Abby Stanford gets the point for the Eagles.
Bit of a communication failure on the Wolverines side. Those holes in the middle, they've got to be aware of them because Eastern is the type of team to notice those holes in the court and certainly take advantage of them.
Sarabi Srinivasan, captain on this Eagles squad, serves. Jacobs to Burke, back to Jacobs. Give and go, works flawlessly.
Beautiful hit by Allison Jacobs, the sixth collegiate season player, is really just making the most of tonight.
Ellie White into the game and will serve, placing Morgan Burke.
Beautiful serve by White,
Ace.
And it's an ace.
Ellie White quickly into the game and makes a mark. 5-2 Wolverines.
Without their Valentina Vallette, who just transferred to Oregon this past season, they are looking for that strong server, and it looks like Ellie White might just be that new, fill that new role for the Wolverines.
Lena Wasilewski got a hand on it, didn't keep it in play. Yeah, that's a good point, Avery. Valentina Vallette, the Wolverines star server last year, transferred to Oregon, left a void on this team as White sails one long. Left a void, but they've had a few transfers come in and a few underclassmen step up and fill that role, and we just saw Ellie White have 2 aces in a row before making a service error. Eastern regains the serve. Ella Grasson.
Ella Grasson is Eastern's current server for the season in aces, with 8 of them so far, hoping to tally some more tonight against the Wolverines.
The high point transfer gets it over. Simmons keeps it alive. White, Jacobs on the attack. Great dig by A.K. Christensen. Eastern gets an attack off way long by Ava Sifke. She is dangerous. She mishits one. That's an error. Michigan up 7-3 early on, but they do have to keep an eye on Ava Sifke.
And then you could see number 22, Sydney Schnickles, immediately go, no touch. That was not us. Number 2, Allison Jacobs back with the serve for the Wolverines.
Jacobs, ball high in the air. Killer serve, ace.
Absolutely beautiful serve from Allison Jacobs behind the service line tonight. Another strong server for the Wolverines, hoping to fill that spot left by Vallette.
This team showcasing the improvements they made in the offseason. Jacobs looked like she has a higher serve than she did last year. And she had the first one down, misses on the second one, goes 1-1, scores 8-4.
It's absolutely more of a complicated serve than she had last year. A bit more of a top spin, a bit higher of a jump, but no doubt she will perfect it as the season goes on.
Sifke with the serve for the Eagles. Down by 4 early on in set number 1.
Sifke coming off a big weekend for the Eagles with 3 straight double kill performances.
Simmons gets a kill. Was not dug out by Grasson. Wolverines with momentum.
Beautiful kill by Amalia Simmons, who killed over 18 kills over 7 sets this weekend. A powerful starter, red shirt starter for the Wolverines.
Cochran, the libero, serves. Jostling at the net. The point goes to Michigan. Belcher was there for the Eagles. Michigan hitting 400 this far, a ridiculous number. That's why they have a 10-4 lead. Served by Cochran. Looks like the ball went out of bounds. Point, Michigan.
Matt, the set is definitely not starting off the way Eastern would like, within a loss of 4-11, but they're hoping to kind of pull back that energy as Madison Cochran goes back up to the serve for the Wolverines.
In, and Michigan wins the point. Avery, these serves are going over and then going right back over the net to Michigan, giving them easy chances.
Absolutely.
That is just an error on the receiving end by Eastern and gives them the ball to the setter. It's hard to win points. That's what Michigan's done so well early on. They missed one more time, and deja vu all over again.
Absolutely. Jenna Haynes, whose debut last year into the NCAA World of Volleyball was also against Eastern Michigan, is really just having a night tonight with those overpasses and making quick decisions with them.
13-4 Wolverines. This time Belcher gets her hands on it to A.K. Christensen. Great dig by White. Schnickels keeps it alive. Jacobs, Simmons at the net, contested. Haynes, White, Jacobs!
Beautiful from the back row, Jacobs. A reliant and dominant player on the court, no matter back row, front row, serving. She's consistent.
See a replay. When she gets the momentum, she wins the point. Serve from Cochran, Michigan on a run, 14-4. Mistimed the hit was Hatteras Welker, and Michigan picks up the point.
Yeah, you can see she really wanted that ball. Eagles are definitely wanting to turn things around, but when you get a little bit too scrappy and you get a little bit too frustrated and focused, those mistakes can pop up.
Michigan on a 7-0 scoring run. Cochran, Welker this time gets on top of the ball and stops the bleeding for the Eagles.
Absolutely, she found that hole, and as soon as you find those holes, that's a great time to score and to run away with some points. So let's hope the Eagles are able to do that.
Welker, the 6'2 sophomore, serves, and Michigan wins the point. Nichols with the hit, the transfer in from Minnesota. Only played in 8 sets last year, but already a big contributor on this Wolverine squad.
Absolutely, the former 5-star recruit has made a name for herself and will continue to make a name for herself in Michigan despite her short amount of playing time.
Morgan Burke, the Wolverine star setter, in. Christensen, dug out by Cochran. They're everywhere. Eagles keep it alive. One more try for Stanford. Can't go. Back to Christensen. Gets a good hit off. Wins the point. A.K. Christensen was the star for the Eagles in their opening tournament to a 2-1 record. She's just a freshman, and she's been fantastic.
Absolutely. She had 18 kills in her NCAA debut against Radford, most in the program history for college debut.
Simmons gets under the ball, but it's tipped a little bit at the net, so Michigan wins the point. 17-6. Eastern has not won a set. I repeat, a set since 2006 in this storied rivalry. Storied, one-sided. Sifke, fantastic athletic move to keep it alive. Burke, Haynes. Wolverines are clicking on all levels.
Absolutely. Jenna Haynes, big name up there tonight. She's being fast. She's being decisive. We love to see it.
Simmons will serve. Srinivasan gets this dig. Over the net. Great save by Cochran. And Johnson punishes. Cochran kept it alive. Johnson finished the job.
It looks like there was a touch from Eastern's libero, and so the point will go to Michigan.
Simmons to serve yet again. Picks out her target. Belcher. Cochran. Johnson. Good dig by Belcher. Srinivasan over the net. And Jacobs can't get under it. Point for the Eagles. 19-7 in the first set.
Michigan is debuting a new rotation this season with the 6-2, meaning that the setter is always coming from the back row. When they enter the front row, a hitter is subbed in. So there are 3 hitters in the front row at all times, which is really great, but it does leave open a hole in the middle, and the Eagles are seeing this.
Textbook by the Wolverines. They get the ball to Morgan Burke. She sets up Jacobs. Jacobs, no answer from the Eagles. Allison Jacobs, a veteran around here, has a lot of experience, especially with Morgan Burke. That was the connection last year, and they continue it right now. Trixie McMillan into the game to serve.
The 5'5" libero from California with strong server and DS.
Michigan keeps it alive. Nyambia sends it over. Sifke denied, but out of bounds. Point for the Eagles.
And McMillan is back out of the game.
A little bit of a serving specialist for these Wolverines.
Absolutely.
Sarabi Srinivasan with the serve.
Strong servers are something that both teams really, all teams really, can count on, and is something that a good way to make points.
Jacobs wins the point. A great save there from the Wolverines to get a good set off from backwards. Jacobs takes any ball that she's given with power and delivers it off some Eagles and out of bounds.
Ellie White, the sophomore from Illinois, didn't play a ton last season, but is definitely getting some court time this season.
Misses the serve. Seems like most of these points are determined by Michigan, whether it's a successful attack or an error, and that's huge for these Wolverines. They're kind of determining the outcome of the game with their hits. We're not seeing Eastern get any offensive success. It's more Michigan lacking in defense when Eastern scores.
Absolutely. The Wolverines are a dominant team this season. When they're on, they're on. There is no stopping them, and it leaves weaker teams like Eastern struggling.
Simmons makes up for her error with a dig. Schnickels way up high. Nyambio keeps it alive. White back to Schnickels. Nice tap. Eastern keeps it alive. Sifke sends it over. Wolverines reset. White, Jacobs. Point Michigan. Jacobs just sends it off the arms of Welker into the ground. 22-9.
Jacobs just knows exactly what to do with it when she's up in the net. She is decisive, and she knows exactly where to put the ball in order for a score.
We saw Simmons there with a poor service receive, an over ball that was sent back to Simmons, and Simmons dug it out, keeping the point alive. It's a crucial play that doesn't really go down in the scorebook.
Another service error by Jacobs. Rare for her, but she is trying a bit of a new serve this season, so it is to be expected. Unfortunate during a game, but.
Sifke picks out her target in Simmons. White, Schnickels. Eastern digs it. Welker can't get it over.
Propped up by Ellie White.
Simmons, Sifke. Voorhees into the game as the setter for the Eagles. Simmons gets one more try. Eastern blocks it.
Voorhees is a special player. She plays setter and DS, which are two normally pretty opposite positions, but it really shows just what an all-around solid player she is.
White sets up Nyambio. That's the first time we've seen Nyambio on the attack today, and she capitalizes.
Absolutely. Serena Nyambio is not someone you want to be up against at the net. She is strong, and she is just a real gunner.
Set point here for the Wolverines. Cochran serves. Voorhees. Simmons gets her paws on it. White. Jacobs. And what a fitting end to this first set. Allison Jacobs gets a kill. The scoreboard read 24. My fault. This is now set point. Cochran will do it one more time. Into the net this time.
It's a close one there. The Eastern Eagles are hoping to maybe make a run for it and prevent the Wolverines from ending the game.
This is set point. Hatteras Welker with the serve. Jacobs. White. Schnickles! Wolverines get the win.
Even not being able to pass to a setter is really, you're not going to get those points.
Burke with the serve. Eastern already some trouble.
Free balling it over the net.
Johnson, it's in. Wolverines pick up right where they left off.
Johnson is a consistent and strong right side hitter for the Wolverines. It's exciting to see her get some more playing time as they highlight the 6-2 rotation.
Burke, ace! Picked out her spot. Wazaleski couldn't get there. And Morgan Burke will serve for the third straight point. Burke, the star setter, had 24 assists in both of the Wolverines' first two matches. It's Wake Forest and Cincinnati, 2 3-1 victories.
She actually ranks 10th in all-time program history in career assists.
Haynes gets the point for the Wolverines, and they're on a streak. It's time for Eastern to turn it around. If there is a time, it's right now. And 3-0 in set number 2. Burke picks out her spot one more time. Wazaleski gets it this time. This time a successful hit by Taylor Mailer, and the Eagles pick up a point, 3-1.
Libero is back to serve again for the Eagles. She is a consistent, strong server and hoping to maybe take the lead from the Wolverines early on in this set.
Sarabi Srinivasan, the junior out of Dublin, Ohio. A leader for this Eagles squad. She is a captain, one of the 3. Srinivasan with the serve. Jacobs, Burke, Johnson. And the Eagles got their hands on it, but then couldn't find the ball after they had a block. Michigan picks up the point, and Amalia Simmons will serve.
Srinivasan quick in that huddle to say, we have next, let's go. Let's bring this energy back.
Amalia Simmons. Wolverines picking on Wazaleski. Simmons, Burke, Johnson has to just send it over. Srinivasan sets up Sifke, and Cochran gets a dig.
Looks like the Wolverines were in the net and the point is going to the Eagles.
Fantastic dig by Cochran. Will go down as a point for the Eagles.
Ella Grasson, leading service ace server, is back for the Eagles.
The high point transfer. Sends it over. Simmons sets up Burke, who sets up Jacobs. But it's out. But it hit off of an Eagle defender. Point, Michigan.
That's the best relief, is when a ball might be going out and you see someone's finger, elbow, toe touch, and you say, hey, that's our point.
Jenna Haynes. Sophomore will serve.
A name that is newer this season. She was with Michigan last year, but just didn't quite see enough playing time.
Sifke gets a hit off. Block was not in bounds. Eagles pick up a point. Little momentum here.
Sifke is one of those key leaders for the Eagles and is a vocal leader on the court, keeping the energy up and the team organized.
Beautifully executed set. Burke was running away from the net, had to set it across her body to Jacobs, who found a hole.
Ella White back in the game, is going back to serve for the Wolverines.
Ellie White got some run last season. This season she's back. Had 2 aces early on. The hit by Christensen goes out of bounds. Ashley Kay, or known as AK Christensen, star freshman, couldn't get on top of that ball.
Hit a beautiful serve by Ellie White, going back again for the Wolverines. Strong, consistent server, one that the Wolverines can really count on this season.
She seems to have found her role. Srinivas with a great dig.
It was a beautiful
and Christensen
serve.
Gets her revenge on Schnickels. Schnickels got out of the way of the first one 2 points ago. This time she got in the way, and it goes out of bounds.
Ashley Kay is a big player for the Eagles. Like we said, had the most in program history for her college debut when it comes to kills.
White sets up Nyambio for the kill. The Wolverines are getting that ball to the setter consistently. What does that mean for momentum with your team when you can get it to the setter, you can get it to a hitter every point, Avery?
Well, it lets them continue to control the game. They're setting up their players. They're playing how they know best. They're not responding to the Eagles. They are creating hard hits that the Eagles have to adjust their defense to.
Great point by Christensen. She reacted to a serve that hit the net and then got the ball right back for a hit, which went off of the Wolverine out of bounds.
The Ashlyn Belcher, 8th in the NCAA for assists in the transfer from Old Dominion. A big team shaker.
Eagles keep it alive. Belcher sends it over. White sets up Schnickels. Blocked out of bounds. Point, Michigan.
The Eagles are usually a pretty strong blocking team, so it's unfortunate to see them not play up to their usual standards. But that's what happens when you're playing a really dominant offensive team, as the Wolverines are.
Cochran with the serve. Belcher sets up sets up Stanford, and she's denied.
Beautiful block by Haynes, like we said, a big force up there at the net tonight.
10-5 Wolverines. Continuing this 2-1 pace that they're on against the Eagles. Cochran serves, dug out by Sifke. Srinivasan. Christensen. Good cross-court hit, and Jacobs was about to run into Cochran. Couldn't get to the ball. Eagles seem to be playing through Christensen, the freshman.
That was one of the rare successes that Eastern has had of an out of order, with Olivero taking the second touch. But they got the point.
10-6. Simmons with the dig. Jacobs has to set up Simmons one more time. Tries a tap. White gets it over. Eagles set up an attack. Belcher blocked in the air. White. Haynes out of bounds. Point, Eagles. Good rally there by both squads.
Eagles are trying to keep this energy and momentum up. Their cheers, their little gestures, and taps on the back during their huddles, hopefully bringing a different score.
Serve way long by Christensen. Michigan picks up a point on a service error.
It is unfortunate to see the team perform with these service errors, because these are not easy points, but these are things that the Eagles can count on our serves.
That was their first service error of the night. Michigan already has 5. Burke serves. Belcher. Dug out by Cochran. Burke to Jacobs. Floating tip. Sifke denied by Johnson. Srinivasan. Sifke gets another try. Poke shot. Simmons keeps it alive. Ball comes our way. Point, Eagles.
Michigan's 5 service errors, Eastern's 1. As I was saying earlier, it is tough because those are the one part of volleyball where you don't need a team, you don't need the setter. All you need is a ball in the court. So it is kind of a bummer to see these excellent teams struggling on something that they can definitely control.
An error there by Eastern. There was a poor dig on that serve. As you're saying, Avery, service errors aren't great, but they also come with service aces. More aggressive teams tend to get more aces and more errors. Michigan has 5 errors, 4 aces. Eastern yet to record an ace. That was almost a successful serve, but an error on the play. A great hit by Sifke wins the point for the Eagles. Wolverines got out of the way, but it was ruled in by the line judge.
Beautiful cross-court shot. Cochran thought it was heading out, but it did drop it at the last minute. An unfortunate point loss.
See a replay of that hit. Sifke finds the back corner beautifully. Grasson with the serve. Burke to Jacobs. An ambitious attempt from behind her head. Little far back from the net, sails long.
There seems to be a little bit of an energy change. Wolverines are not pulling away as early in this set, and the Eagles are definitely keeping their spirits high.
Grasson picks out her target. Eagles are picking on Simmons. Belcher, Welker. Double hit. No, Eagles win the point.
This is tough, but a great comeback by the Eagles, a show of just how switching up the energy on the court can lead to some strong, consistent points.
Grasson on a little run of her own. Likes to pick out Simmons. This time Cochran gets in the way. Burke sets up Jacobs. Jacobs, 2 straight errors on attacks.
Grasson
Eastern tied it up.
Grasson is one of the strongest servers for the Eagles, so there's no surprise that she is the one bringing the team back with her consistent and targeted serving at Simmons, it seems.
Grasson, this time aiming for that same spot, hits the net for a service error. Second of the game for the Eagles.
Serena Niambio is back in the front row, shaking things up for the Wolverines, hoping to turn the energy around and pull away with this set.
You see McMillan back into the game for Michigan, sophomore from Redondo Beach, California.
Libero and Diaz is a strong back row presence for the Wolverines.
Burt keeps it alive. Jacobs over on 3. Belcher over her head. Mistimed with Welker. McMillan digs. Wolverines set up an attack. Burke, Johnson, great dig by Srinivasan. Over the net. Nyambio keeps it alive. Simmons back to Jacobs, and Jacobs puts the dagger in the point.
It looks like that block was just not there for the Eagles, and they were able to find that spot open on the court, cross court.
Trixie McMillan with the serve. Srinivasan. Belcher, Sifke. Denied. Johnson, Nyambio, the combination. Back here in the Chrysler Center. One Big Ten squad does have the lead over this MAC Eastern Michigan Eagles squad, 15-12. Trixie McMillan with the serve.
You can see assistant coach Bjorn Haus talking to the Wolverines, trying to get them prepped up for this set.
Sifke gaining momentum for these Eagles. Had 53 kills coming into the match, leading the Eagles. And picks up a point there on a block out of bounds. She will now serve.
The 6'1" grad student from Spokane, Washington, strong server.
Jacobs, nice floating tip shot. Christensen returns with one of her own. Burt keeps it alive. Little bit of a miss set.
The point's going to go to the Eagles.
Point Eagles. Miscommunication there by the Wolverines. Burke didn't know if it was coming for her. Sifke led the team with 32 aces last season. Had 4 against SIUE. Burke, Johnson, and the Wolverines pick up a little bit of that momentum they had in the first set. Morgan Burke getting back involved. She'll check out of the game.
When the Wolverines are able to set up their setters and their hitters, it's normally a point for the Wolverines. So being able to consistently set up their team is a really big key win for the Wolverines.
White with the serve. Great dig by Sifke. Welker. White keeps it alive. Cochran, high shot, Jacobs. Srinivasan gets her hands on it and it sails out of bounds. Point for the Wolverines. 17-14.
Although Srinivasan had a great weekend, she is 5th in digs per set at 4.23 for the team.
Nyambio on an overpass, kills it, it's kept alive. Cochran above her head. White, direct line drive set. Jacobs has to tip it over. Christensen. White one more time, over her head. Schnickels, the Minnesota transfer, picks up the point. She had played 8 sets in her career last season and comes in this season. This is her 10th set.
We saw 2 beautiful ups by Ella Grasson for the Eagles, a pancake. But on that third set her way, just could not keep the momentum going.
Belcher sets up Christensen, sails long. Eastern's not getting their sets close to the net. They're having to take some ambitious attempts, and that's resulting in Michigan points.
Absolutely. It's one thing to spot those holes, but it's another to be able to successfully fill them in, play on those errors. Number 6, Ellie White back for the serve.
Michigan on a 4-0 scoring run, thanks to Ellie White serving. And she misses this one right on cue. Announcer jinx. Eastern Michigan picks up a point.
Absolutely. Looks like it's going to be Welker back for the serve for the Eagles. The 6'2 sophomore from Sandbury, Ohio.
Hatteras Welker.
She does lead the team and the MAC with 1.27 blocks per set. 49th at NCAA D1.
Jacobs gets the point after the line judge has to duck out of the way of the ball. Don't want to get in the way of an Allison Jacobs set. Hit.
For her 4th serve of the night after 2 errors and 1 successful serve.
Jacobs way up top. And lands the serve, but dug out by Sifke. Looking to keep Jacobs' serve alive. White tees up her teammate, and it's kept alive. Cochran. White one more time. Nyambio. A little bit of a change-up. Dug out by Srinivasan. Sifke, another change-up. This one's well placed. And the Eagles get the ball out of Jacobs' hands, pick up a point in the process, 20-16.
We did mention this earlier in the first set, but that is one con of running a 6-2 defense as the Wolverines are. It does leave holes open in the middle, and the Eagles are noticing this, and when they can, they are taking advantage of it.
So more of a slow middle shot instead of a hard attack?
Absolutely. It forces all the defenders to rush up in the front row, wanting to come back and be prepared to hit. Leaves a gaping hole of no one really knows what to do with it.
It's good analysis. Eastern with an ace from Belcher. This time, Michigan picks up the point. 21-17. Michigan 4 points away from picking up set number 2.
Although Belcher is a senior and a transfer from Old Dominion, talking with the SID earlier for Eastern, she is a big presence on the court and is really a new addition to the team that the Eagles are grateful for.
Christensen tries to keep the point alive after a miscommunication with Sifke on the services team. They're talking it out now in the huddle, determining which one's going to receive the serve from Cochran.
Absolutely. Cochran is a strong presence for the Wolverine. Appearance started in all 31 matches for the Wolverines last season.
Sifke, Christensen, and she mishits the ball.
Smart coach, the U.S. National Development Team, also offense coordinator for the Olympic team, both in the Paris and Tokyo. So she does realize this weakness, I am sure, and has been communicating with the Wolverines.
Belcher tees up Stanford, and the Eagles pick up a point. Belcher's the daughter of Tim Belcher, MLB pitcher for 14 years, won a World Series with the Dodgers, so plenty of sporting experience in her family's genes.
Another famous relative for the Eagles, number 13, Erin Randall L. You want to?
Yeah, daughter of former NFL great Antoine Randall L. White tees up Schnickels, and Schnickels picks up the point for the Wolverines. This time a much more confident. It's set point for the Wolverines again in set number 2.
Schnickels, redshirt sophomore, former 5-star out of transfer from Minnesota. really put that point away for the Wolverines.
Burke with a chance to go up 2-0 in this match. Morgan Burke lines up her serve. Dug out by Srinivasan. Belcher, Sifty, and they live to see another day. 24-19. Eagles need 5 straight points to extend this set. Robbie Srinivasan tasked with the role.
Absolutely. All it does take is that 1 point to change the momentum of the game. Eagles hoping to do so.
Burke. Simmons just has to send it over. Srinivasan, Eagles load up. Welker, denied. Welker again, long. Wolverines sweep up set number 2. 25-19. Michigan, they go to Purdue Fort Wayne at home. Valparaiso, Niagara, and then a couple more matches teed up. Belcher, Sifty, long, just wide, but it was tipped. Eagles up 3-0 with a little bit of momentum.
And that was actually going off of a touch, not so much of a tip. There's a Wolverine touch. The ball went out of bounds, so now it's the Eagles' point.
Wasilewski. Jacobs with the dig. Burke tries to keep it alive and does. Haynes. Sifke. Denied.
Both Johnson and Jenna Haynes getting touches on that block, but the point ultimately is going to the Eagles.
Stanford gets an attack off, and the Wolverines are not able to block it back over the net. 4-0 Eastern. Wasilewski has served all 4 points, now all 5 points. Burke sets up Haynes. Nice tip. Srinivasan.
A back row defense, or back row attack all the way past the 10-foot line. Definitely uncommon to see, but it worked for the Eagles, at least until the point came back over, and now it's Wolverine serve.
Simmons to serve for Michigan.
Simmons, we didn't see a lot of her in the first season, or her first 2 seasons, but we are seeing a good amount of her on the court this season, and it's really great.
Is denied by Johnson. Wolverines pick up a point, 4-2. Simmons to serve for Michigan yet again. They pick out the target of Wasilewski. Mailer kills it off of a Michigan player, out of bounds, point for Eastern. Taylor Mailer, sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
This might be the first time, correct me if I'm wrong here, Theo, that Eastern has a lead over Michigan in this game tonight.
I think it is. And it will not grow. It will shrink a little bit. 5-3.
Point going to the Wolverines. Not sure what the call was on that. But Jenna Haynes, number 12 at the Wolverines, is back at the service line.
Haynes to serve. Sifke digs. Back from Belcher. And point Michigan. Sifke, Belcher, Sifke. Combination does not work out. Michigan picks up the point. 5-4 Eastern. Their lead is evaporating. Haynes to serve one more time.
The 6'3" sophomore is exemplary of why middles are such great servers. Their height creates a really special angle, making it hard for the serve receivers to pass up and set up their setters.
Blocked out of bounds. Eastern picks up another point. Grasson, the best server on the Eagles, in to serve. She had a little run of her own last set. Still, the Eagles fell 6 points short. Jacobs gets momentum and with authority punishes Michigan. They get it to Burke. She sets up Jacobs. That's all they need.
Absolutely. A little replay of Jacobs' incredible hit. She right at the libero, but somehow just had an incredible bypass of the libero.
White with a similar serve we saw from Valette last season. Sifke tries to tip it, goes out of bounds, point Michigan, and they have tied it up. 6-2 run by the Wolverines.
Although serves don't always have to be as fun to watch as Vallette and now White serves, they definitely are a perk of the game when they are as enthralling as Whites are tonight.
Sifke saved by Simmons, but then punished by Welker. Welker reacted to Simmons' quick reaction of her own with a save. Absolutely. And secured the point for the Eagles.
The overpasses are really a gift to the middles. Both Jenna Haynes took advantage of this earlier, and Welker, as we just saw.
Simmons, Cochran, Schnickels from over her head, a tough angle, can't capitalize, and Eastern with a little momentum trying to win their first set against the Wolverines since 2006.
Number 15, Ava Sifke, service line, great serve.
Jacobs on the attack. Taylor Smith into the game for the Eagles with a set, and it goes wide.
Madison Cochran calling that ball out loud and clear. Desperate for that point back.
Jacobs, the Wolverines star, to serve. Grad student out of Stevenson Ranch, California. Way up in the air. Looked like she mistimed it a little bit. It'll work out all the same. She's surprised. She has no idea what she's doing. Wiping her forehead like a phew. Did not have a good throw.
This is definitely a new serve for Jacob, so it's exciting to see her reactions to all of her successes, and hope that it continues. The strong serve from Jacobs once again.
Another little bit of a missed throw, but it gets over the net. Welker denied. Nyambio.
The most perfect block, arguably, that I've seen all night. Right back behind the defenders and into that open spot in the back of the court. Perfect block by Nyambio.
Jacobs to serve. Starts way behind the line. Throws it all the way up in the air. High top spin serve. Sails long. Eastern picks up the point.
Number 1, Welker, the 6'2" sophomore, is back at the service line for the Eagles, hoping to pull off the set in their favor.
Cochran can't handle the Hatteras Welker serve. They pick up the point.
And a rare error from the libero, who starred in all 117 sets for the Wolverines, hoping to make right.
This time, ball sails long.
Jenna Haynes
10-10.
back for the Wolverines. Madison Cochran behind the service line for the Wolverines, hoping to break away and get some momentum for the Wolverines.
Cochran, a very different serve than Jacobs and White. Smith goes quick with her left hand. Wolverines were ready. Simmons, long point, Eagles.
Although Cochran did a great job of covering that gaping hole in the middle, as we were talking about earlier, it just wasn't enough, and the Eagles did gain the point back.
Ashlyn Belcher, transfer from Old Dominion, took a lot of Ella Voorhees' playing time. She came in. They're both captains on this team. Lands an ace. Mid-10 cross-conference matchup. Right now, they're trying to keep a long streak alive of not allowing Eastern to win a set in 19 years.
Number 10, Belcher for the Eagles, proving that not all serves need to be as fancy as Jacobs. Consistency is key.
Stanford continues the momentum for the Eagles. They seem to have some more camaraderie. The bench is involved. They're feeling it. Up 3. Ella Demetrician has checked into the game for the Wolverines.
We saw this in the first 2 sets, but the energy change for the Eagles whenever they rally together and start livening things up in the court is a really powerful tool that has helped them turn around games.
Back and forth rally. Belcher tees up Mailer. Jacobs is there. Little bit of an overpass, and point Eagles. White ran into the net while she was trying to save it. Eagles pick up the point.
Seems to be a bit of an error on the Michigan side, but they are hoping to get this point back and side out against the Eastern Michigan Eagles tonight.
Ashlyn Belcher.
had over 40 assists in every game last weekend in their season opener, including a double-double with 40 assists and 14 digs against Marshall on August 29th.
Might be a review here by Erin Virtue. See if she wants to execute it. And looks like she does not. And the Eagles win the point. 14-10 Eagles. Belcher, first year on the Eagles from Old Dominion. Serves. White, back to Demetrician. And Demetrician picks up the point. Her first action tonight. She was a freshman last year, had some up and down playing time. Played in one of the games over the weekend and had a huge impact off the bench.
Yeah.
And comes in tonight when they're down on a set and picks up a point.
Absolutely. All it takes is one substitution, one momentum change. Great serve receive, and then a beautiful kill.
Sanford with her over-the-top hit. Doesn't work out this time. Johnson finds hardwood.
Johnson is a really key right side for the Wolverines, and is really getting to see much more kills and beautiful. There's a little playback for you guys.
Beautiful
kill
set by
by Johnson.
A service error, though, results in an Eastern Michigan point. All of a sudden, it's looking a little more scary. Generations-long streak at risk here. 15-12 Eastern.
Absolutely. Looking to make a change to that large losing streak and first Power Conference win since 2016.
Wasilewski sails the serve long. She had the momentum early on in this set. Now we'll see Ella Demetrician, excuse me, serve.
The 6'2" sophomore from Appleton, Wisconsin is in serving for the Wolverines, hoping to change things up and getting things working back in the Wolverines' favor.
Mailer. Burt keeps it alive. Demetrician high in the air. Jacobs. Little change up. Haynes secures the point for the Wolverines on Demetrician's serve. Demetrician is one of the top recruits in the country last season. A huge get for Virtue and her staff, and she stuck around one more year. Looking for an increased role in playing time. She's getting a chance right now in this close set number 3.
Absolutely. Demetrician is a consistent player. She's strong behind the ball serving. She's strong in the back row. She's a really versatile player, key player for the Wolverines.
Belcher to Mailer. Belcher one more time. Sifke denied again. Johnson is everywhere. And they send it over on 3. Burke, tees up Haynes. And Michigan with some momentum on a 4-0 run. Looking to make it 5. Demetrician serves. Dug by Srinivasan. Sifke. Miss hit. Eagles need to find their stride.
Demetrician with a strong floater serve, just dropped on the libero, was unable to successfully pass it up to the setter.
Demetrician looking to keep it going, just long by a few inches. Eastern gets the serve back.
Wolverines not letting them keep them down from this little point loss. Eager to get that point back, side out and win this game.
Sarabi Srinivasan serves long. A line drive serve did not find the ground. And Cochran smartly lets it fly right by her ear, out of bounds.
Absolutely.
Nyambia checks back in.
Followed it right to the line, made sure it was not dropping in. There will be no simple mistakes made from the Wolverines at this late and this close in the third set.
McMillan lined up to be the libero next season, should all things stay the same. Belcher, Mailer, Jacobs blocks it out of bounds. Frustrated with herself. Point Eastern.
Absolutely. For Jacobs, a real power figure for the Wolverines. These errors, she takes them personally of herself. That's really great to see for the Wolverines, and just know that she's a consistent player and values herself as one.
Ella Grasson. Burke, Jacobs, said it before, I'll say it again.
Wow.
But Easter keeps it alive.
Beautiful save by
Burke.
Ashley Kay.
Nyambia keeps it alive one more time. It would be a huge momentum swing should Eastern win this point. Burke, Johnson, blocked, and Eastern sets up their attack. Srinivasan, Sifke sends it over, and tipped by Burke out of bounds. Eastern ties it up, and the bench is fired up.
Absolutely. Winning a long rally can shift the momentum for a team. That confidence for holding on after a tough play. And you can see the attack. And Burke sticking her hands up to try and grabbing it, second guessing, and ultimately dropping the ball.
Back to the bread and butter go the Wolverines. The Burke and Jacobs, same as bread and butter. Point, Michigan.
When they're able to suit, and when, like Thea said earlier, when Burke is able to get good hands on the ball and sends it out to Jacobs, you know exactly how the point is going to end.
Ellie White, high serve, long, finds the ground. Eagles didn't have their eyes checked correctly.
Ball dropped right on the service line. A close call, but in for sure.
20-18, Wolverines lead. White will try it again. This time Christensen gets her paws on it. Blocked out of bounds, point Eagles. Michigan's miscues this set have been due to their blocks going out of bounds and not getting under the ball.
Absolutely. Michigan not super high in the conference when it comes to blocks, more of an offensive team. Demonstration follows it to the line, careful to call it out, and the point will go to the Wolverines.
Watch that ball all the way in. Saw it land on some blue. Point Wolverines, 21-19. 4 to go for this Michigan team if they want to secure a sweep against Eastern for their 15th straight win against the program.
Beautiful serve by Jacobs in a moment of
Belcher tried to go quick, sent back. Welker, dug by White. Schnickel sends it over. Jostling at the net, and Niambio sends it down. Wolverines pick up the point, 22-19.
You really see the scrappiness the Wolverines come out as we get to the end of this set. They're not letting anything drop. They're popping up balls. They're being scrappy. They're really working with one another to win.
Jacobs. High in the air, into the net. Point Eastern. She's still working out her serve, trying to get it down before Big Ten play and Virginia play starts against other power conferences. A good time to try it out in a game where you're up 2-0.
Serves like these, high risk, high reward. They are hard to hit off of, but they also do carry an additional risk of not always making it over.
It's the lasting impact of Valentina Valette.
Absolutely.
Transferred to Oregon.
Absolutely.
For Eastern, Ella Voorhees, captain, serves. White, demonstration with authority.
Voorhees is a versatile player for the Eagles, a setter and DS. Not something you see every day.
2 to go for the Wolverines, leading 23-20 in set number 3.
Demonstration finding the open spot in the back court and making the most of it.
Cochran lands a serve. Christensen stands 10 feet behind the line. Sends over a serve. Christensen. Belcher. Stanford. Michigan regains possession. White. Demonstration, a two-handed push. Stanford keeps it alive for the Eagles. Sifke sends it over. Wolverines set up shop. White. Haynes and a great save off the face of an Eagle. White. Demonstration. Eagles keep it alive. Belcher. Stanford denied. Srinivasan. Christensen denied one more time. White. Jacobs! Michigan sweeps the 15th straight win against Eastern Michigan. A 3-0, 25-12, 25-19, 25-20 win. Cap.
Can go back a little closer. Let's take the bench. Excellent serving performance in the second set coming this over. Taking control of it and finding a ball with the third serve for the first time. great numbers from the number 8 seed. And in this department, the big turnaround look is the Union Southwest Areas Nation. Look at that, suddenly even positive by past 8. And she found plenty of races that did a lot of their heavy lifting in that transformation as well. Big change up from what she was